Welcome to the video. In this, I'm going to be covering another hiker and giving my thoughts and opinions on them. Similar to J Chuck, this time we're looking at JSilverheals. Now they do kind of cross over and link to one another because they have helped one another out previously. We'll get to that later on. Primarily, JSilverheals has played a part within the mystery of Kenny Veach, looking for him. So we'll start off with the positives. Number one, the most obvious one, is he's been out there. He's gone out, he's hiked, he's risked his life, he's been caught in the dark.
So I think I'll stop and wait for some light, because the next part, I don't want to do it in darkness. Otherwise, you can't film right.
And, he has injured himself along the way. So he has put effort in, he's done his bit, and that's a positive. With him being out there and searching for Kenny, it does help the overall investigation, whether it's certain footage being reviewed or if it's him directly finding something. Now, another positive with JSilverheals, which kind of ties in with his hiking, is even when he is injured and out of action, he still participates and helps in some way. So I think I'm right in saying he injured his leg or his knee and he was in a wheelchair, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know if that is still the case, but it was around the time of when J Chuck and JSilverheals were supposed to be going out together to hike, but JSilverheals couldn't make it because of the injury, but he still helped in the investigation and search for KV. So whilst J Chuck was out there or preparing, JSilverheals was providing information and knowledge of, the area, the landscape, the rocks, and even the ravines. So while Silverheals was giving his knowledge and as well looking at maps in between and communicating with J Chuck whilst Chuck was out in the field, it just kind of helped things run more smoothly in a way. So Silverheals was still able to take part in some way. So that's positive. Now another positive is, and it ties in with the previous point, is the Ravine Theory. Now JSilverheals, I believe, was one of the first ones on YouTube to really discuss that and go into it into some depth using, Google Earth, Google Maps, and talking about it, the possibilities of where Kenny could be down one of the ravines, labelling them, pointing them out, key markers, and then presenting them to J Chuck so J Chuck could go out and investigate himself, which in terms of doing that task was successful. In terms of locating remains or anything of Kenny Veach, wasn't so successful. However, if you tie it all together with JSilverheals and what he knows and with his theory he introduced or talked more in depth of compared to others, and J Chuck being involved and them communicating with one another whilst J Chuck is out there searching those places Silverheals suggested, a big positive is it just, narrows down the search, the area, greys out the areas which aren't important or empty, nothing was found. So even though people can argue, and them themselves can argue themselves about how things aren't successful or things haven't worked out, the reality is you've been able to successfully narrow down areas. And maybe in the long term or in the future, it might help pinpoint locations which have not been looked at. So whilst you've got all these different hikers out there, such as Scott, looking in the areas he has looked in, which Sheep Range, but also further up north, Hidden Forest Trail, and you got J Chuck assisted by Silverheals looking at the ravines down Jeremy Canyon, whatever you want to call it, all the way up there. That helps rule out that area. So everyone's doing their bit and looking in different areas, providing it can be all collected together afterwards, maybe as an overall map, and grey out certain areas. In the long run, it can make it more easier, more functional and more practical for if anyone else comes along. So Silverheals, linking back to that Ravine Theory, has helped cut out that area So no one needs to go back there, if that makes sense. Now, another positive with Silverheals is he has done personal videos. He has gone out there, he has hiked out there, and then he's done response videos such as the covered cave, but also the keyhole.
Okay, this one I'm doing for Warlike Wrath. This is next to the M Cave, and it's the one that has the perfect circle in it.
So by doing those videos, it adds more of a personal touch, but it also helps reinforce certain points, or at least clears up or debunks certain theories along the way. Like with the keyhole, reinforcing evidence, I guess, to prove it's just not much to it. Similar to how I did my video at the time, Silverheals has added to it, which has helped.
It's a mud dauber's nest. That's nothing into the solid rock. That's like hornets and whatever, paste mud and then go inside whatever. Anyway, I scraped that a little bit with a stick, and it's like spider web material.
So let's move on to the criticisms now. Starting off with number 1, copyright issues. Now, I have seen over time JSilverheals has used other people's footage, such as mine. Now, I don't see it as a big issue, but if you were able to provide a link in the comment section and description of my channel, just to give a bit of credit, that would be appreciated. Now, I have seen previously other YouTubers' videos have been used in Silverheals videos, and they have complained, saying, hey, you shouldn't be using my footage when you didn't ask or give credit. So you get what I'm saying. The reason why I bring this point up is more towards him, is the way YouTube can be and the whole copyright problems and issues. Sometimes it can lead to channels being deleted or temporarily banned or permanently banned. So just suggesting that point forward, that just be wary of certain videos you use, I guess, or firstly ask permission, just to avoid problems in the long run with other people out there. Just suggesting, okay? Now, the next criticism of Silverheals is sometimes you can have a strong opinion bordering onto the point where nobody else's matters. At the end of the day, if it's an opinion, it's not really a fact. And in a mystery like this, opinions are welcome because it's a mystery. Many theories can be put forwards. That's the bottom line. But sometimes Silverheals gets into that mindset of his opinion is a fact at times, or at least his opinion is above everybody else's. And then that can lead to a bit of tension, bit of argument. Some people end up leaving the community because they can't be bothered hearing all the arguments and stuff. So, you know, it's not a big issue, but sometimes I guess for some people it could be a bit annoying. And I think primarily the only problem why this stands is because it's like some kind of mystery and a lot of people involved. It's more practical and more functional if people are able to, don't have to be work together, but work around people's different thoughts and ideas. Because if people are at war with one another, it means there's more distraction, things aren't flowing as smooth, ideas might be not quite there because the mindset isn't, because people are too busy arguing with one another. I'd say Silverheals may be the one that starts most of the arguments because of the strong opinions and then dismissing everybody else. So yeah, I think tying on with the next criticism, as I said, sometimes using opinions as facts, because I have seen the odd few comments where people have stepped in with actual facts or personal experience and said this is how it is, and sometimes Silverheals completely dismisses it. So you've got that. The final criticism is sometimes Silverheals can be very random and it can get a bit confusing. 1 minute he's saying to Jeff Clark, I respect you, you're a good person, Jeff, I'll stick with you all the way to the end, you have my full attention, you have my full respect and loyalty and everything. And the next minute he's saying, God, Jeff is a complete idiot. What is he on about? What's going on? I don't follow. It's a bit confusing. And then next minute, he's calling Jeff a penguin or something. What? Penguin? And then the next minute, he thinks Britney Spears is commenting on his channel and he wants tickets to the concert. What the fuck is going on? He thought a user with that username was the real celebrity and wanted tickets to go to the concert if his point is proven correct or something. Very confusing. And then I've not really had any problems with Silverheals because I try and stay out of it, and I let him do whatever he does and I do whatever I do and just leave it like that. But I guess in the early stages he did leave the odd comment which kind of confused me. I was just looking at Kenny Veach and the situation with his girlfriend and just saying how it's a bit odd how they say certain things or contradict themselves. And then Silverheals was going on a bit of a rant and then started saying, hey, you shouldn't be questioning his sexuality and whether he's gay or not. And I'm thinking, what? What are you on about? I'm not even talking about that. So that was a bit confusing as well. And then some of the video titles as well, such as Jeff Claw offers to fly me out via helicopter to the desert. I'm thinking, what? What's going on? I'm so confused. So yeah, you might not be able to see those comments or videos because we link on to the next point is Silverheals tends to delete them quite frequently. You know, just recently he was putting forward a possible theory that Kenny Veach was an escort and selling himself, and then someone took advantage of that and that's why Kenny disappeared. I mean, you know, it's different theory, we'll say that, but you know, you never know. Anything could happen. But then Silverheals deleted the video. Now, I don't know if it's because he made a mistake or he changed his mind. But like I said previously, yeah, people will delete videos just because they feel like it or there's a need to. But by frequently and constantly doing it, it makes you think, how certain are they with what they say? If they're constantly backtracking on what they say or suggest, then can you really trust them? Are their points valid? Do they lose credibility if they're not consistent? You get what I'm saying? So hopefully I didn't mention too many negatives because I know Silverheals doesn't want too many negatives, but I'm just saying it how it is because I don't believe in being delusionally positive or leading people on in any way or form. Just say it how it is. Maybe it will help, maybe it will not. I know Silverheals has got his own opinions, and I think in a previous post he did say he doesn't care what other people think of him. That's fine. But I just wanted to give my opinion in general. So I think, in summary, Silverheals has done his bit. He's put the effort in. He does have knowledge of the area, hiking and I guess the rocks and stuff, landscape. He has definitely helped in assisting Jay Chuck with the area and getting those videos out, assisting in him, which has been very useful. And yeah, he's helped clear the odd few mysteries up and debunked things along the way, such as revisiting the covered cave, keyhole, stuff like that. And also, without his footage, you wouldn't really be able to do a proper, clear, direct comparison of that covered cave with older footage to show that the rock has been altered with. So it helps in that sense. But yeah, there is criticisms, can lead to arguments, maybe a bit too strong-minded at times, and sometimes, you know, doesn't have enough evidence in certain areas, and that's why other people end up stepping in with facts, piece of evidence, personal knowledge and experience. So, you know, it's balanced eventually at the end of the day. Hope you enjoyed the video. That's it for now, and goodbye.